Hello. How was your day? Yeah. We don't have a huge series of announcements or anything. We don't really have anything planned for this wrap-up session particularly. We were going to just ask if there were any specific points about the day from the floor, anything that was particularly good, anything you thought we should do a bit different, or any general comments about where we're going or where we've been. Anybody got anything?
What I've really enjoyed about today is with the panels, I felt like it's been really comfortable to be able to speak. I think there's been a lot more feedback from people in the audience than I've seen, having been to all of the days. That sounded like a cat.
It's just Kathy.
But yeah, I just felt like the conversations have been really free-flowing. I've had loads of chats with people about how they run the venues and, stuff that's great, stuff that's not so great. So I think that's been really positive for me today anyway.
That's really good to hear. Do you think that's just because people are getting more used to the idea that everybody does actually want to hear from them after years of people feeling isolated? Do you think people are just kind of getting much more into networking now?
Yeah, I mean, it's only taken, 3 years?
This is the fourth one, yeah.
4 years for us to warm up and be able to talk to each other a bit more. But yeah, I think it's that, you're not
on a quick
alone.
show of hands, who used the sandbox? And on a quick show of hands, who thought it was useful? Let's just, I won't ask you to say why. Quick show of hands, who didn't find it that useful?
Really?
Oh, come on. Really? Okay, because I think you all know it was something that came out of the regional meetings and out of a lot of things that people were saying last year about not feeling like what we wanted to do was getting connected to the agents. But obviously, it's the first year we've done it, so I think we're going to look for a lot of feedback from you on what could be better about the sandbox.
Yeah, I've already had some comments from a couple of agents about suggestions they could make, and so what we need to do is we need to make sure that's balanced with feedback from venues who participated as well. So we'll work with Chelsea again, and we need to say a big thank you to Chelsea. Is she in here? Chelsea,
yeah,
you did a most amazing job at organising the sandbox for us, and we must say a huge thank you because you are wonderfully organised. Thank you so much, and thank you for everybody that worked with Chelsea, particularly Sarah, and all the students that helped out as well, because it was quite a task to make that work.
We asked Chelsea to schedule 480 meetings with agents.
So yeah, she deserved a round of applause.
Just off the top of your head, how many do you think you got, Chelsea? 300? Yeah. I mean, that is 300 meetings with agents took place today. Are you all psychologically okay, or are you going to need help?
Can I just say on the feedback thing, I've never designed a feedback form because I've never got round to it because I'm always so exhausted after doing the day that I kind of go, oh yeah, I should have done that, shouldn't I? If you don't get an official feedback form, we do really want your feedback, so please feel free to just drop us a quick email with comments about the day, what you think might be better, or what might have been better, what might be a good idea for next year. Obviously, we do what we can with the best information we have. We always want more information from you. So please feel free to drop me your comments. You may not get a reply straight away. You may not get a reply at all, but it doesn't mean I won't read them. So yeah, to either one of our addresses, or particularly to the venusday@gmail.com email address. If it's about Venues Day, send some comments back to that one. That would be really helpful.
Which leads me on to the key questions of the day. Everybody ready? Good. I know this sounds a bit dramatic, but on a quick show of hands, who thinks we should do another one? That seems pretty unanimous. Okay. The reason is because, as you can probably tell by the state of us by the time we finish these, we are absolutely at the limit of our ability to do these. And so, frankly, we're going to we need the organisation itself to be a little bit bigger, and we're going to need to find some way to start regionally organising some of the stuff we're doing, because there are now 325 members of the Music Venues Alliance. On average, around about 10% of them are at any one time having some specific problem that we're supposed to deal with, and we're just running out of resources and time and staff. So I suspect that prior to next year's I personally would be very keen to put the regional meetings back in, but those are not going to happen because we organise them because we don't have the time. That's fair, isn't it?
Well, I think there's big questions about what we do have the time to do anyway. I mean, there's that conflict between organising Venues Day and possibly other events, dealing with the emergency response service, just dealing with general communication and research, and then, you know, what else we might like to do in building the team. And I think a lot of you that have been involved for a while are aware that we are a tiny, tiny organisation, and it's brilliant when we have Venues Day because we get extra staff. So I get people to tell what to do, rather than most of the time it's just me. So, you know, we are very much striving to make the organisation bigger, and it very much needs to be to continue to do events and things of the quality that we want them to be. But as many of you know, our attempts to strategically fundraise have not been that rewarding, and, you know, we're looking at other sources now. But, yeah, we are also looking for other people regionally that want to collaborate. I had a couple of good discussions today of people talking about, you know, regional networking groups or other things to do. We're very open to people coming to us with suggestions of you know, other people that could take stuff on, because we can't do it all, much as we'd like to.
My next question is slightly more complicated. These have happened in October. For a reason that I cannot remember. Can anybody remember what the reason was?
Well, no, the first one was December, and then everyone said that was too close to Christmas, so we went, okay, let's stick it in October.
Chris is already shaking his head at me. October is a no? You don't think October... I mean, basically, I'm not going to run through every single month of the year. But who thinks it should stay in October? Who would be happier if it moved spring, April or May, June? Fucking hell, I'm just going to... Look, let's cut this out. Right, hang on. Okay, I can't really see because of the lights, but okay. January, 1. February, remember the months? Nobody wants February. March, 1. No, 2. Oh, 3. April, 2. May, June. That's interesting. July. Quite a lot for July.
Really?
August. Smattering. September.
No, I'm not doing it in September.
October. Still back in October. November. You're outvoted, Chris. December. December the 25th. Oh, there's 2 votes for that. I'm not coming for Christmas at your house.
Okay, I should just explain. October, part of the issue in October is, as our students will know, they've been in term like a week. So that's kind of complicated in working with colleges. But also the other issue for October is there are lots of other events. And also because nobody confirms that they want to be a speaker or participant till September, it gets a little bit stressful trying to tie the programme down. So we are just possibly considering moving it around, but we need to do further work on...
Yeah, slightly earlier in October? No. Slightly later in October?
It's half term.
So in October, but not either earlier. So exactly this fucking date. Well, thanks, guys. Okay, that's sorted that. No, it's exactly this date.
Basically, we have to spend our wedding anniversary
it was completely
every year
correct. I don't know why we asked.
Day.
Yeah, that's it. What about Tuesday or Wednesday? There actually was a question. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday. Round your nans. Okay, so maybe Wednesday sounds better to people than Tuesday? Yes? Some nods. Most people don't care. Some people have nodded off after 5 Jack Daniels. That's good. Right. Okay. Bev's going to hate this, but I'm going to say, who would like to repeat the regional meetings of 2016? And would you're going to be quite happy with those being probably in the spring to avoid the October stuff? Is that right? Yeah. Okay. We do need to see how that would be practical to do that. I think the regional meetings were really, really good, and I think they really helped us to form what happened at Venues Day.
Can I just say regional and national meetings?
Yeah,
because we
right.
don't just mean regions of England, we actually also mean Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland.
Yeah, it's a great shame, actually. We managed to get 9, wasn't it, 9 Northern Ireland venues confirmed today. Did any of you make it?
Anyone here from Northern
all
Ireland?
the
They all
flights
got
cancelled.
grounded.
Yeah,
Oh, you got
grounded.
one at the back. Brilliant.
Which
well
one?
Done. Oh, well done. Is that Rachel?
Did you row here?
You're a star, Rachel. Well done.
Okay, so, well, you already know, basically, that was kind of our questions, wasn't it? I mean, I've got something else to say, which isn't very easy to say to a packed room full of people who have already been drinking, but I need to tell you something. Basically, we are going to need to finance this organisation in some way. And it's not about me wanting to buy a yacht, although that's quite a good idea. It's that if we're going to have regional people, we need to be able to pay those people to do things. We have a very serious issue with the emergency response, which is we cannot get people to sign off on the advice they're giving us and accept all of the professional liability without them being indemnified. So each of these cases, 40 cases last year, has cost just under £100,000. And we've done a lot of work in getting branding and sponsors, which I know, because I'm ethically in the same place as a lot of you. Some of you don't like some of the branding, but that's the money that's currently paying for it. So I'm afraid I am doing a bit of a sell. On the back of your Venues Day guide, which is some phenomenal number of pages long this year, there are things that you could do to raise money to help Music Venue Trust. You could put a gig on under the Fight Back thing. You can do some sort of fundraising. We are going to need to fund it, okay? And I'm not only asking you that, I've also gone on a mission to go and explain to the music industry that they're going to need to fund it because it has to be funded. This work is too important. We don't agree that venues that are already on their knees need to give up another night in order to make this organisation work. We think the whole of the music industry has to put some money in. So we have been working on new patrons, new people coming forward to support us. You can see on the screen, although it's not supposed to be there yet, that was my big announcement. Elbow are our latest patrons. Okay, we're announcing whole reams of new patrons. You may have seen we recently announced Slaves. We've also announced Charlotte Hatherley, the Anchoress. Another thing you could do is could ask bands as they're coming through your venue, do you support the work that we're doing as a Music Venues Alliance, as the Music Venue Trust? Please will you sign up? Our patron ask is literally a photo and a statement. And it helps us to go to people and say, listen, everybody's in favour of this. You'd be surprised if you walk into a room and you say, I'm here because Sir Paul McCartney thinks that music venues are really important, how grey-haired old men get mildly excited about the idea they might meet a Beatle. So, we need to get a bigger spread of that, so if you can help us with that. Is anybody near the computer to press the slide? I can say that we went round and asked the recorded industry to give us some money. Ooh. And we are pleased to say that Sony are now financially supporting the Music Venue Trust. So we need to say thank you to Jason, who is the chairman and CEO of Sony. Out loud, thank you, Jason. Thank you, Jason. And I think we also need to say, I don't think Sony should be the only ones, if I'm honest. I think a £4 billion live music industry can probably afford 8 million quid to revolutionise 100 grassroots music venues in the UK. I think they can probably pay for this conference if they want to. I don't think it's unbelievable that they could put the money in to actually make stuff like this happen, to put a bit more support behind all of our grassroots music venues. So essentially our message is to the rest of the industry, and I'm doing this because it's streaming somewhere, is get your bloody checkbooks out. Put some money back into research and development. We've given you the mechanism to do it. We've got all the plans laid out. It shouldn't only be Jason at Sony that does this. It should be Max at Warner's. It needs to be David Joseph at Universal. It needs to be all the people at Live Nation. Everybody get together and we can make something really proper happen.